1996, a year of momentous happenings that sadly saw the death of two of the world's leading lights. At the age of 78, Ella Fitzgerald, the First Lady of Song, passed away after a 60-year career, and later in the year, one of America's leading scientists, Carl Sagan, who was suffering from cancer, died after catching pneumonia. The French nuclear tests in the Pacific met with new resistance in 1996. When French President Jacques Chirac visited Pope John Paul, he may not have been expecting the Polish-born pontiff to remind him that a politician should conduct constant moral reflection. However, in St. Peter's Square, anti-nuclear protesters who gathered during Chirac's ceremonial reception were more direct, waving flags and banners saying, "Chirac, listen to the Pope, stop nuclear testing," and "No to nuclear testing." Anti-nuclear demonstrations continued across the globe, from Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. to the disarmament conference at the UN headquarters in Geneva, where Greenpeace called for an immediate ban on nuclear tests.
We are here in front of the United Nations building because we would like to demonstrate that concerning the Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty, time is very short now. There is only a period of 7 weeks left to get the treaty finished, and we urge all the delegates from all over the countries to make an end to nuclear testing and to sign the treaty now to get the treaty ready for this year.
Although the French had recently provoked international outrage by staging a series of 6 underground nuclear tests in the Pacific, now that the United Nations had approved a nuclear test ban, there was a change of tack in Paris.
I think it's an important step toward a safer world. Perhaps there will be further steps, for sure, in many areas. But it's a very important step. All the official nuclear powers are embarked, the 5 nuclear powers. And as you know, regarding France, we have already closed down our nuclear testing facilities in Mururoa, and we already signed a nuclear-free zone in South Pacific. So that is an example of the strong commitment of the French government in favor of the effective implementation of the Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty. But for sure, we'll have in the future other steps, and we'll always be ready to discuss about further disarmament in the world.
As if by coincidence, France had ended 25 years of reliance on land-based nuclear missiles. It shut down 18 land-based nuclear missiles at an underground launch base and left its nuclear defense to weapons aboard submarines and bombers. The ceremony began when 2 pairs of officers, in separate bunkers 40 kilometers apart, handed back keys and launch codes that would have enabled them to fire the missiles on direct orders from President Chirac. Each of the 18 S-3D missiles had been equipped with a 1 megaton warhead and had a range of 3,500 kilometers, far enough to strike Moscow or beyond. Across the Channel, Britain's beef industry was facing a major crisis. For the first time, the British government had admitted that mad cow disease, or BSE, could be transmitted to people. France was the first European country to order a ban on imports of British beef, and others soon followed. The speed with which the French authorities had ordered a ban on imports of British beef shocked traders at London's famous Smithfield meat market. One man said he'd lost 50% of orders in one morning. Britain's announcement prompted a slump in beef sales and a worldwide ban on British beef and beef products. Later, Paris supported the EU decision to ease a ban on beef products, but wanted Britain to do more to stamp out the disease before agreeing to a full lifting of the ban. Shops in Paris had started selling some of the previously banned beef products, including gelatin, tallow, and bull semen. In a year that had also seen the war in Chechnya draw to an end, with the Russian President Boris Yeltsin declaring a ceasefire, 1996 was yet another year of momentous happenings.